Hey guys, this is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com. How are you doing? Yesterday, June 20th, was the summer solstice, which means, science, where the earth moves around the sun in a sort of an oval, not in a perfect circle, but in an oval sort of orbit. So when it is at the closer part, those are the equinoxes. That's where the days and the nights are equal, right? So we'll have two equinoxes. But when it's at the elongated part, we have solstices, where for the summer, at least in the northern hemisphere, for the summer, because earth is tilted on all sides. So so in the summer we have the longest day and the shortest night, and in the winter we'll have the opposite, which will be the shortest day and the longest night. So yesterday was the summer solstice, which means longest day, and I was out and about in the hot, hot, hot sun, with my mom doing chores. But I decided today to sit down and do a reading, and it's a different reading. So stick around. All right, so I've already pulled the cards, to shorten the time span of this video. The reading that I'm doing is a different one because this time I'm not asking for myself or for you, or maybe it's for you. It's not for a very specific person. It's for the world at large. And I generally have avoided doing readings like these because they tend to be a little like predictive, and I don't want to be with someone who's predicting world events. Like, I don't think that's my sort of thing to do. But anyway, the point is, in this reading I've just asked, okay, from this solstice to the next, that's the winter solstice, which is round about 21st of December, how will the energy of the world be like? Okay, and I don't like to complicate my readings either. I like to keep them simple. So we have situation, obstacle, guidance, outcome. Simple. And then whatever the story is, the Lenormand cards are going to give us, the tarot gives us a broader, big picture energy sort of, scenario. The Lenormand cards will give us, all that in practical words, in practical terms. And then we have a Kipper spread. I'm learning Kipper, I'm doing Kipper these days, so I have a Kipper spread, again, to bring it down to the here and now, everyday life kind of a thing. All right, ready? So I'm using the decks I'm using. This is the White Newman Tarot deck. This is a new deck I've got. It's right away, so it shouldn't be that hard. This is the Dreaming Whale Norman. This is the Card Geeks Kipper deck. All right. Okay. So situation and bear in mind, this is going to be from today till all the way till about end of December. So we have July, August, September, October, November, December. So it's like 6 months. This is going to cover that kind of a time frame. Situation. The Magician in the reverse. Let's take a look at this card in the upright so you get a view of, look at the card. This is a nice Magician, right? I like this card. I mean, this whole deck is pretty quirky, and I like the images, and it's a very playful vibe. So anyway, back to this card. Magician reverse tells me the next 6 months are going to be full of crazy stuff, in the sense that Magician does bring creativity. The fact that this card is reverse tells me that there will be many ups and downs blocking that creativity, because the Magician wields the energy to make things happen, right? He's sort of controlling the energy, and he's making things happen. So over the next 6 months in the universe, especially with Magician, we're talking leaders, right? So the people who are in charge, the people who are supposed to make things happen, they will try their level best, but how far they will go is difficult, because there might be blockages for them to make things happen. They might not be able to either, in some cases they may not be effective leaders, in some cases they may not be good leaders, in some cases they may even be manipulative leaders, and in some cases there may be situations where things don't necessarily come together in terms of synchronicity, in terms of harmony, for them to actually do what they really have been wanting to do. But the leaders will try. That is what I see. There's definitely the effort on their part to try and do what they're supposed to do what they want to do, and make things happen for the rest of us. Okay. And this so the obstacle, let's take a look. I mean, already the magician reverse has told us what the big sort of energetic obstacle will be. Here we see Queen of Wands, and she's also reversed. So look at that. Take a look at this card. I always love the Queen of Wands in a deck because I identify with her. Right? So what in the reverse, right? The upright Queen of Wands is someone who is very energetic. Again, it's the same energy, it's the same vibe as the magician, but this brings in a feminine, creative, sharing, joyful sort of vibe, make things happen, allow the passion to flow sort of a vibe. So that's where, see, the blockage is, the obstacle again is the fact that people will not be in a very generous, in a very, the spirit, more or less, right? So when the magician or the leaders are trying to do things and they need help from people, people will, most of the times not really give them the support that they need. When these people, if it's a manipulative leader, if it's a bad person trying to make things happen, then obviously this will work for the good. But then for the most part, we see that the blockages and the hurdles are coming from the people, not necessarily from the environment or anything else around in the world. It's the people who will not cooperate, people who will have, different voices, different attitudes and approaches, and not everybody is going to be warm and caring and loving and in the generous spirit, because the Queen of Wands is always having a very generous spirit. She loves to share, she loves to create, she's very passionate. In the reverse, it all goes upside down, right? So there is no generosity of spirit, there is no passion or lack of passion, or passion going all over the place. So it's all of that happening, due to which these people again will not be able to do what they're supposed to do. The guidance we get is the King of Cups reverse. This is interesting. So again, the guidance is for the people, right? Court cards here represent people. You remember that. That's always the case. Court cards are people. And the King of Cups normally is someone who is, again, look, he's floating more or less on the water. He's one with the water, you can say. And he's, all the emotions and everything. He's attuned to emotions and to his intuitive and spiritual sort of vibe and flow of energy, which in the reverse is not. Then that's what the guidance is. In the case of guidance, a reverse card tells us exactly where the blockage is. Reconnect with your creative energy, reconnect with your intuitive energy, reconnect with your generosity, reconnect with your heart, really. Cups, right? Feelings, emotions, and take charge of them. Don't let those emotions pull you every which way. Take charge of your emotions and feelings and try to see things more better, more clearly, more generously, more honestly, more joyfully. And with this all going on, so how will it all pan out? Let's say this is the outcome. My outcome is always a possibility. Like, if you follow the advice, then what will the outcome be? And here we have the Six of Cups, right? This is again a hearkening to the days of old. To be honest, Six of Cups is the nostalgia card, right? Everybody is feeling nostalgic for the before times, for how it used to be, for the past, for the joyful days of the past. And again, there's a thing about nostalgia. When we look at the past, we don't necessarily, we sort of gloss over, right? We don't necessarily see the bad things or want to remember the bad things. We always tend to gloss over the bad parts and just focus on the sort of romanticizing the good parts. And that is going to be the outcome. So what I feel is, with all of this unfolding, the leaders trying their best to make things happen or manipulating their way to make things happen, people not cooperating, and the guidance being that, hey, get in tune with your true feelings and get control over your feelings so that you see the big picture clearly. What will happen, the outcome is, with this whole mess over the next 6 months, people are going to reminisce more and get nostalgic more, and they kind of want the past back. And here's the thing about time. This is my personal 2 cents here. The thing about time is, time always moves forward. unless you're in a time travel story, time will always move forward. You cannot get your past back. You can't, right? You just can't. You have to move forward and try and see. And times change, things change. Life as we know it today is not the same as we knew it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. So you can't get those days back because everything has changed. And what you can do if you want to create a good life is to move forward and to create a good life with whatever you have at your disposal at that time. Okay, enough of my 2 cents. All right, so let the Lenormand, I'm going to, let's see what the Lenormand is saying, bringing it into practical sort of tone. We have tree, which is usually health, family, growth, right? I'm looking at the global perspective. Then we have moon, which is feelings, emotions, and things that you're pulled and drawn to. Then we have letter, which is, documents, communication, that sort of thing, information. Snake, ooh, twisted. Snake is all about betrayal and complications and being, everything is twisted around. And then you have dog, who is a loyal, dependable friend or loyal, dependable energy. So all of this energy that we saw earlier, now this is just a straight line, sort of forming a simple sentence, it should. And this is how it will translate to practical terms, big picture. Things that are growing, all the things that are growing, including the health and considering there's a pandemic going on. So in terms of health, you will see things improve, right? And you should be open to following your intuition because your intuition is going to communicate with you. Also, all the creative things as well. There's a lot of growth happening with creative I don't know, with the moon, it's always all about following your passion. So it could translate into business as well. It could translate into the work field as well, because this is also often connected with work, the moon, right? So growth in terms of health issues, I see that things will get better. If you listen to your own inner guidance, and your health will improve, and this is for everybody. Then in terms of your career, in terms of that sort of, where you are following your passion, yes, it will also, you will see steady growth there. Pay attention to the messages that are coming from your intuitive self, right? Write them down if you must, or communicate them to who you need to communicate with. That is important. Then, however, what will happen is, some people are still going to take that message and twist it around. They're going to misunderstand it. They're going to, mess it up. Right? So you have a mixed bag. And then, regardless of that, you will still have people who are loyal, who are sincere, who are honest, and who believe in you. And, a sort of a day-to-day thing will happen. So next 6 months on a sort of a grander global scale, you will see better health situations and better work and business situations, especially where you're following your passion, that kind of a thing, where you're following where you're pulled to, gravitating to. And communications, you will see, as you listen to these messages, communications will be twisted around. You will hear all sorts of manipulated messages and things like that. But always listen to your heart, always listen to your inner self. Your inner self, that guidance will always be sort of spot on. So those manipulative messages will not make a negative impact on you. Just ignore, listen to your heart. You will understand which messages are manipulative and which are honest. Okay. And so on an everyday level, what will happen? We have convene, and then we have good gent, then we have house, we have marriage. Oh, nice. And then we have unexpected money. Look at that, would you? So on an everyday level, what is happening is people are going to meet each other, hang out with each other as the restrictions and lockdowns sort of, as the world emerges from that. People are going to spend some time, on an everyday everyday life. This is where, it will affect sort of, your everyday life. You will enjoy hanging out with people, and you'll meet some really interesting people too. Good gent can also be an elderly person who guides you. Good gent also talks about financial things, prosperity, that sort of a thing. So as you meet people and as you interact with people, you might meet people who may give you nice positive guidance also, and financially things will start looking better. House also talks about your own home, your own sort of stability, and so things will start to sort of become stable. And marriage talks about happy relationships, and again, marriage is a connector card, so it connects these two cards. So there's going to be stability in your relationships, be it romantic relationships. I also apply that to other relationships because we are looking at sort of a general thing. So as you hang out with people and more positive people and more happy people, not only will your life stabilize, and as financial things also start stabilizing, your relationships will also start to see a more sort of a positive, happier sort of swing to it. And unexpected money, so unexpected money can actually mean unexpected money and also mean a lot of good things coming your way unexpectedly, out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere. But the thing is, as your energy stabilizes, so too the gifts from the universe will start coming, in a more freer way. Many a times, the things that keep coming to us are a reflection of our inner world. Not many a times, most times, almost all times. So if you see a lot of negative stuff coming your way, I know this is sort of generalizing it, but if you do see that, there's just like all sorts of negative stuff coming your way, really honestly take a look deep within yourself and ask yourself, where are you being negative? And and just you don't have to tell me, you don't have to tell anybody, you have to tell yourself, and you have to, this is more like an introspection. So in the same way, you will see the positive trend where things are positive. Obviously you will start being positive, more upbeat, and your relationships will obviously improve, and financially things will improve. There's stability right in the center there. So again, globally there's a lot going on, okay, no doubt about it, and everybody starts reminiscing about the past. Oh, so this is on a global sort of thing. On an everyday in practical terms, yes, manipulative messages coming in, but there is growth in terms of business, and you just listen to your inner self, and with your feet on the ground, you will sort of see that things will start to stabilize. And on an everyday level, again, you're going to start meeting people again, and hanging out with people again. And as you do that, a lot of positive, helpful people show up, and your life financially also stabilizes, and emotionally also stabilizes, and a lot of good stuff starts coming your way. That's it. This is the picture for the next 6 months. Now let's see how this plays out, right? And yep. So the thing is, I have to say this, and this is the truth. If you guys also want to see how it will happen for you, how the next 6 months will pan out, or if you have any specific questions, be sure to follow the link in the video or on my bio, wherever this video is showing up, Instagram, YouTube. Follow the links, place your order your readings, and find out what is in store for you over the next 6 months or the next 2 months or whatever your jam is. And then basically ask the cards will guide you and show you the way through this, and we can figure out how to make the best use of the energies in the world around you, and how you can sort of navigate the complicated territories that sometimes will show up in your life, and how you can make the best of that opportunity as well, because I see complications as an opportunity too. So of course, that's a moment to sort of say, hey, what's this? So anyway, everything is a lesson, isn't it? So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you want more guidance, you can always book your own reading with me. My appointment diary is open, and so forth. And of course, if you want to learn how to do amazing readings like these, my appointment diary is still open. You can always join up. let me know and we'll figure that out. Get in touch. All right. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. Yada, yada, yada. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.